Good morning, guys. Welcome. Good morning, Chicago. Welcome to the Bears Huddle podcast. What is up, Bears fans? Please, of course, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Right, look, what is going on pre-draft with that stadium? We'll talk about the draft at some point today. We will be talking draft, don't worry. But what is going on with the Bears' new stadium? That is the key question. One of the NFL committees will meet with the Bears this week to discuss the search, to discuss how plans are progressing for the new stadium, and to find out what the situation currently is with the Chicago Bears and their hunt for the new stadium. Is it going to be in Illinois still, or are they planning that move to Indiana, to Hammond, Indiana, to be precise? Today could be a key day in that stadium search, with the Illinois State Legislature meeting today to discuss a bill that, if passed and if sent forward, could certainly help the Bears remain in the state of Illinois. Now, what is it the Bears are looking for? I think, look, the Bears have always been clear. Look, we are not looking for someone to pay for or build a stadium for us. That has always been clear from the outset. The Bears want to build and own their own stadium. Obviously, therefore, meaning that all revenues, all it rents, or everything that comes into the stadium is there for the Bears. It's not being paid to a third party. We're not renting it. We are owning it. And that's clear. And I think the state of Illinois has got its knickers in a twist, saying they're not paying for anything for the Bears. We're not asking them to pay for a stadium. All we're asking them to pay for is infrastructure around the stadium, in terms of roads, in terms of businesses, and also look at the tax situation as well. In terms of that infrastructure, that is the state's job. The state government of any, whether that's here in the UK, our local government here in the UK, or your state government in the USA, your job as a state government is to provide infrastructure for your communities. They are the ones that elect you. They are the ones that pay taxes to you. That tax should be used to improve roads, improve transport links. That's what a responsible government does. If it doesn't do that, that is an irresponsible government, unfit to govern. Also, businesses and taxes. You should be encouraging businesses into your local community. Why? Because businesses bring jobs. Jobs bring money. Money brings a livelihood, brings a benefit to the community. The more jobs you create, you can address poverty. Again, that is the job of a state government. If the state government is refusing to give businesses favourable taxes to help businesses come into your state, and you're losing those businesses to other states, that is a bad state government and should be voted out. So what is it the Bears are looking for in precise? Well, this is what the Bears want from the state of Illinois. The legislation the Bears want from Illinois would freeze property tax assessments on the proposed Arlington Heights site, allowing them to negotiate a payment in lieu of taxes agreement. That's what the Bears want. To make it favourable for obviously us to build, us to remain within the state of Illinois. Because at this moment in time, what is being offered from Indiana is far more favourable than what is being offered from the state of Illinois. Hammond, Indiana, the state of Indiana, offering a lot more tax breaks, a lot more payment towards infrastructure, towards the stadium, a lot more benefits for the team coming from Indiana. The governor of Indiana, quite clearly, much more community focused, much more business driven, much more actually doing a good job for his state. Last Friday, the Bears chairman, George McCaskey, and team president Kevin Warren met with Hammond, Indiana officials, as a team spokesman put it, to finish the necessary due diligence work on the Hammond site. The state of Indiana legislature, as we know, has already passed legislation to lure the team across state lines. This now puts the situation firmly back in the court of Indiana now to see what they can offer. As I said, we've seen there quite clearly what it is that the Bears want. However, it's not as simple and straightforward as that. Behind closed doors, some of Chicago's lawmakers are hesitant, saying that they want something in return for voting to let the Bears leave the city to go to Arlington Heights, which, look, I can kind of understand on that. LaShawn Ford said. He said, "We need to make sure that if the Bears go to Arlington Heights, that my vote means that we support all of Illinois, but we also support Chicago. That means that the property at Soldier Field, there should be some type of support for what happens at that spot." I think he means in terms of paying back the tax burden, in terms of developing or redeveloping that site, etc., etc. Look, I think, again, LaShawn Ford perhaps here showing a little bit of, bit of stupidity maybe. I think maybe the thing that here, not recognising that, by not doing and helping give the Bears a opportunity to stay within the state of Illinois, sorry, that he is basically forcing them out. He is forcing them to move cross state. Again, I think a very short-sighted comment from a state legislature member in LaShawn Ford. Now, J.B. Pritzker, the governor of Illinois, who has made a number of errors of judgment on this one, said this: "I would describe it as more than just an outline. It's, scaffolding of a deal. Like, everybody understands what the pieces of this are. I would like the legislature to move faster just because I think it will be good for everybody to get this done." I think someone is feeling the pressure of perhaps re-election heading his way, feeling that if he was allowed to allow the Bears to leave the state of Illinois on his watch, it would not look particularly good for J.B. Pritzker, especially as this is a guy who probably has ambitions to run for the presidency in the future, a guy who wants to make sure that he can secure his place within the state of Illinois. That's just a bit of an outsider's view on that. I do have a degree in American politics, so I do kind of understand American politics, how it works, how it happens. Look, the Bears have an interesting situation, and I think as Bears fans, we would all rather the team remain in Illinois. I think we'd all rather the team remain within the city of Chicago. But it is what it is. We've got to go for the site that is going to give us the best possible opportunity to thrive as a team, to bring in the most money for the team, to make the team be as successful going forward, both on the field and off the field. And that's the key thing. It's off the field that really, that is more and more a factor now for teams. People will cite obviously and say, well, it's wrong for Chicago Bears, the Illinois Chicago Bears, to move out of the state and go and play in Indiana. But as we've seen with other NFL teams, the New York Giants and the New York Jets both moved out of their state, play in New Jersey. The Washington Commanders play in Maryland. We've got teams as well who don't play in their home city. San Francisco play in Santa Clara. Dallas Cowboys play in Arlington. So that there is a whole situation there where teams don't play in their home city. It is what it is. Teams go where they can get the best possible deal. So it looks like today could be an absolutely critical day for the state of Illinois and for the Chicago Bears. If the state of Illinois is serious about keeping the Bears within the state, they need to move to do things to actually offer the Bears an incentive to stay. If we get a situation where people like, LaShawn Ford and others are putting the Bears in a position where they're not passing this legislation or making this legislation so it costs the Bears a lot of money, they're not going to stay. And that is short-sighted, and that is wrong, and that is not looking at the bigger picture. Like I said, you keep and you build infrastructure. You bring in jobs, you bring in possibilities, you bring in more money. You bring in money by encouraging business. Business brings in finance. Business creates jobs. Business creates wealth. The state doesn't. And that's something that these people definitely need to realise. Guys, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Obviously, please like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. And we'll catch you very soon here on the channel. Bear down.